My name's Nadeem Ahmed. I'm the Finance Director of the Data Communications Company, which is primarily operating within the outsourcing sector. 50% of its business is within the public sector, the other 50% within the private sector. So one of the common problems we had was, as we were growing as a startup, there was a lot of movement within the finance team. And as different professionals were coming into and leaving the team, naturally people had different styles of creating spreadsheets. Knowledge was then disappearing from the company, and it was often difficult to find out what the actual truth was when we were producing our numbers. With the Data Communications Company being an energy monopoly and a business that is regulated, we are open to scrutiny, not just from a regulator and forensic auditors, but also by the public as well. Therefore, it's important that we have a single version of the financials and that we're able to have the transparency that follows that. So specifically within the Data Communications Company, we hadn't actually heard of Rinedata or had previous working relationships, but they had quite a key supporter in that one of the board directors of Capita had previously worked with Rinedata in a past company, and they were able to give a very glowing reference of their experience of working with them. So what was clear from Rinedata was during the competitive procurement cycle, we were able to benchmark the quality of Rinedata against other implementation software providers, and what stood out from us was the professionalism that the Rinedata consultants were actually providing us. They were really clear on what their goals were, what they were looking to achieve, and we really felt that they were partnering our business. They weren't really an outsider, it was almost an extension of our own team. What impressed me the most with Rinedata was their professionalism. They were very open and very direct with their approach, and that was from every single member that we had interaction with. So from basic sales consultants that came in to talk about the product, all the way to their technical people, all the way through to the directors of the company. Everyone was very open, and it wasn't just through the sort of sale and procurement process, all the way through the development cycle. Everyone was always open and keen to understand how we were progressing. Again, coming back to being a startup, a lot of our business processes weren't as well defined as you would expect in a mature business. So even after we had set our design, high level and a more detailed design of the solution, we had to change it on a number of occasions, and Rinedata were very supportive and quite empathetic in that. So the level of patience that they showed was really appreciative. BPC first and foremost has brought a level of confidence in having a single version of the truth. It's brought some consistency in terms of the business processes we follow. It's really brought a high degree of documentation standard within the organisation, but it's also helped improve the quality and timeliness of closing out our month end. So from that perspective, it's been a real positive influence on the business. What's surprised the organisation is the level of scenario planning that you can do, not just in terms of revenues and costs, but it actually is really good on cash flow planning, and that's one of the real kind of life cycles within our organisation, is the understanding of what the cash is actually doing, and BPC has really helped improve the quality of our cash flow planning. So there were a number of challenges that we faced post-implementation. There were a couple of those, one being who would actually provide the post-implementation support, not just for the solution but also from a hosting perspective, and Rinedata were able to provide a commercially sound proposal. The second part was around our finance systems manager role. We were finding it difficult to recruit an individual with the right capabilities, and Rinedata were able to provide an interim support solution which worked well for the business. In terms of the future of BPC, we're undergoing a sort of a 6-month process where we're trying to solidify the solution that we have implemented, and then we are looking at a number of other sort of new business ideas. So we're looking at perhaps some HR functionality. We're also looking to perhaps integrate BPC with some of the other systems that we have within the Data Communications Company.